don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Oh, well, and of course I didn't do that. Amazing. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 489th episode of the Political Spotlight. I apologize about our tardiness. I've been watching a digital podcast and a blog that I watch, even though I'm not a techie person, but they've been saying that the internet has been really slow and laggy all over the United States for the last couple of days. And I don't know what the hell's going on, but oh, I needed to breathe. Just breathe. All right, we're here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 489. This is the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Please give us a like if you would be so inclined. That would be fantastic. Smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. If you want to communicate with us live, you communicate over there. R-E-Y, bro. R-E-Y, B-I-L-B-R-E-Y, not E-R-Y. Good Lord. Take that shit down. You know how to spell my name. Are you kidding me? You better be in a car driving somewhere or something dangerous that would make you get that spelling wrong. Are you for real? Get out of here. If you're watching via replay, you communicate down here, and obviously live, it's about 9:22 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. Voice to text. Voice to text. I get it. He just left the fair. Hey, the fair. It's funny that you mentioned the fair. Tonight's episode is All's Fair in Love and Politics. And if you want to get a load of this, listen to this. Then we're going to bring our guest on. So my last two summaries, last night's summary and tonight's summary, were written by ChatGPT. I've never done anything like that before. For the first time, the Political Spotlight used ChatGPT to come up with our summaries for the show. Listen to last night's. This 488th episode is filled with political nonsense. Sometimes it seems like all the elected and appointed political officials are competing to see who can be the rudest of them all. Host Kristopher H. Bilbrey covers various issues from around Indiana. First, Bilbrey provides a recap of the Muncie Parks board meeting, highlighting ongoing frustrations that have been present in several Muncie meetings. The park board meeting shifts to a discussion about Prairie Creek Reservoir and the ongoing struggle between the city of Muncie and the Indiana American Water Company. Changes to the reservoir and its regulations are coming soon, and Bilbrey discusses this controversial issue. One thing is sure, no one will be happy if everything continues to happen in the secrecy because of the communication and transparency problems that the city of Muncie keeps facing. Next, Bilbrey revisits Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour's hot mic moment. Mayor Dan Ridenour is once again called on a hot mic, and Bilbrey explains what was said, why it matters, and the possible consequences for the mayor. Then, like a crazy ex who just won't quit, Grant County Commissioner Chuck Poling is back, and his behavior is worse than ever. This time, the commissioner actually has to be escorted out of the county building by security. Yeah, it was that bad. Bilbrey exposes Commissioner Chuck Poling and his latest outburst and erratic actions in Grant County, from threatening remarks to chaotic disruptions of government buildings. Bilbrey calls out the unacceptable treatment of county employees and officials. Finally, Bilbrey looks ahead to the Winchester City Council meeting and scheduled for Monday, July 21st, 2025. Bilbrey offers a preview of what's to come in Winchester next week, and at this point, it could go either way. It's a horse apiece. They could settle down and do the right thing, or then again, it's Winchester. Either way, Bilbrey is here for it. But whatever you do, missing this episode shouldn't be an option. Make sure to tune in for the most insightful commentary, unfiltered truth, and the relentless pursuit of government accountability you can only get on the Political Spotlight. How amazing. And then that leads us into tonight's amazing show. We're going to have Katherine Callahan on here with us just in a few moments. This episode for tonight, if you're here, it's going to be great. In this fiery and unapologetic 489th episode, host Kristopher H. Bilbrey is joined by contributing correspondent Dr. Katherine Callahan, although she's not a real doctor, to help shine the political spotlight on some of the most outrageous abuses of power unfolding across central and east central Indiana. From backroom deals to outright censorship, Bilbrey and Callahan, the not real doctor, reveals how local elected officials are actively trying to silence the public by restricting citizen participation, ignoring public comment, and undermining the democratic process. But as always, the message from the Political Spotlight team is clear. We will not back down. With passion and precision, the duo exposes corrupt actors, names names, and holds bad government behavior under the unforgiving glare of the accountability or the political spotlight. I kind of didn't know where I wanted to go there. If you're an elected or appointed official acting in bad faith, you're on notice. This episode is a call to action for transparency, civic engagement, and public power, because the people are watching and the political spotlight is leading the charge. And with that, we'll bring on Katherine Callahan.
Well, that's quite an introduction.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think it's pretty impressive.
All right.
So I
did it all myself with ChatGPT.
Listen, before long, it's going to tell us how Madison County is cheating on the machines. So, I mean, this is the wonderful thing about ChatGPT, and the more you put in there, the more the smarter it gets. Like,
I will never use it again. I hated it. I like doing it myself, but it did speed the process up. But as soon as I made the process quicker, my computer was like, ha 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 ha, you bitch, and they killed me. It just completely shut me down on everything.
So, I mean, here's the bottom line, though, with ChatGPT. Like, if I have it on and I go into a room and I'm like, oh, Christopher's here, he's had a heart attack. The thing starts saying, okay, Christopher had, bypass.
A hangnail. I had a hangnail.
it just comes all the way through. It's an incredible tool, and what it knows about people is even more incredible. So, but it was spot on tonight. I will tell you that. I mean, they are on notice. Since I've talked to you, I don't know if I've had some exciting news. So, let's start with reading the post. Can you function and do that, or do you need me
reading
to do
the
it?
post? Reading what post?
The post I put up on Facebook about the fair. So there's so much to talk about in Madison County. We can't get off of it. But while he's looking for that, if all of you remember back last year, I signed up to volunteer at the booth for the Republican Party. And so I was going to do Friday night because I didn't have patience the next morning. And then Nicole Schuyler's like, oh yeah, I'll join you and we'll just do it together. I'm like, oh, that's great. So they had the booth, the Republican Party had the booth. And then Thursday night they were there with Micah Beckwith. So they suddenly and frantically see that Nicole and I are on for Friday night. So they tear down the booth at the last minute. They're running around the fair. Like even officials are like, what is going on? They tear it down and they're like, we just can't keep this booth up because we can't have Nicole and Katherine here. And so, which was kind of interesting that, you wouldn't want to have the Asian and the vet there, but I guess so.
Start killing each other. She'd be like, die. Why didn't you die in the bomb?
Right. I mean, I think it's great that you can show a veteran and the Japanese can work together, but what do I know?
Really briefly, see, this proves how well the audience knows me. Look at this lady just commenting here, some stranger that I have no clue who this person is. She says, great. She mentioned that Bilbrey had a heart attack. This will get in his head and he will be having chest pains later. See?
Well, the good news, Rachel, is that I am here. He can call me in the middle of the night and I will talk him off the ladder just as soon as I medicate him because he was having a nervous breakdown right before the show.
Yes. Real quick. Okay. So just briefly.
Wait. This is important.
Right,
This is really important. Cindy Ponchett's comment right here. Oh, Katherine. Don says to get your own booth next to the Republican booth next year. Well, Cindy, why would Katherine wait till next year when she can do it this year? All over the place.
How long does your fair run?
I don't know. It starts Sunday and it goes the following time. So what, 7 or 8 days?
Listen, I love it.
Like Popeye, why wait till tomorrow when you can do it today?
Hey,
so
I love it.
And this will be great. And we're super excited and stoked about it. So we'll just see, right? So it's all
out to the fair.
Come out to the fair, see your favorite talk show host. Maybe Bilbrey will come out and do a live broadcast out there from the fair booth. We'll be under the pavilion. See, we're even under the pavilion. Yeah. And we do have electricity, so we'll have a fan. So come out and see us.
Hey, don't go anywhere, Rachel Clark. I know that you're really prone to tuning into the beginning of shows and then tuning off and not watching ever again the whole show, but you might want to stick around for a little bit. Just grin and bear it. You can get through it. I also want to say this because we're going to have some good shit on here. I also want to say this up here to Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird said, what are the purple crowns? And just let me tell you, it's some bullshit that YouTube is putting out. I've got no idea. It lets people know who's like in first place or second place commenters or something like that. You guys should all have them. It's not something that we're doing. YouTube is in control of it. I have nothing to do with it. Kate has nothing to do with it. We're not doing it. They do it behind the scenes. It's more nonsense. What I wish they would do is I wish they would get their shit together, and I wish they would delete all of the crazy ads. Look, I love making money, but I hate the fact that they're putting like 5 million ads on each show. Once we end a show, there's people that always watch in the after. Like as soon as we end, a lot of people sign on to watch right then as soon as we're over because a lot of people don't like to watch.
that if they've lost their shit, they can come over to Madison County and probably find it in some of
Yeah,
these
right.
in the
Well,
yard.
well, so I just want to tell everybody I'm working on that. Please, please, please bear with me. Just watch through them, click through them. I am working on it. I have sent an email out to our correspondent. We're now big enough that we have a correspondent at YouTube, somebody that deals with us, and I'm working on it. So please bear with me. Mr. Wise, I understand. I know it's a pain in the ass. Just bear with me. And yes, Tweety Bird, it will continue. It will continue to change up and down. So just comment a lot and interact.
I just want people to understand, if I were on there, every time it's like a competition. I want to be the queen. I want to be the one with, so it's all about it.
Yeah. Real quick, before I found your post, I do want to share this because this is very important and it feeds into it. So when does your fair start?
Sunday.
It starts this coming Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. Our fair started last Sunday. Okay. Yeah, Carrie. Our fair started last Sunday. Okay. And I want to show you something. This is the first year that our Republican Party has allowed people to be in, like they in the past wouldn't allow Ryan to be there, or other people. Now, I want you to look at this. And I want you to look,
if this was this year's or not when I saw that post.
I want you to see this, and I want you to look at the difference between what's going on at the Republican tent and the Delaware County Democrat tent. And I'm just showing you what's happening. So this says, we're all set up and ready to visit with you during Fair Week. We'll be at the Delaware County Fairgrounds, Indiana, all week. See you at the fair. Delaware County GOP, Team GOP. We are family. I wish they would get rid of that. I hate that. The family shit needed to go out with Ed.
Listen, it's even a blended family. You guys got your Democrats and your Republicans, all the Republicans. It's a blended family. Let me just be clear, you know?
Yes.
So, yes. They need to take this a step further.
Stumblefoot is right. You can turn that crown thing on or off, but I don't know how to do it. So maybe Stumblefoot can help you. Okay, so
here's the thing. Maybe these guys all should have purple on because you guys are a blended.
They're blended. Yeah. So that's the first post, and they've even got Tiptoe Diego here. They've got a whole bunch of them here doing their thing. Okay, now I want to show you. Okay, that was Sunday. Then here was last night. Community night was perfect way to kick off Fair Week. Mark your calendar for Republican night on Thursday. Okay, Thursday is the Republican night. So that's when the most Republicans are out there. But look how many people were out there last night. We had a big number of Republicans there at the tent. They're all mingling and walking and talking to the people and doing what they do and doing all this, and you know, it's all this, all that. There's the corner. And here's people, there's people. Hey, look, there's a Democrat.
See?
That's a Republican. Here's hey, the team's back together.
Oh, Max England's out there.
Yeah. Well, and here's the best thing is we've got the highlighter queen and her like boyfriend. Scott Alexander is there, and then we've got all these people here with this really tall Abe Lincoln dude or woman. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, all right. So this was last night, and then tonight it's Wednesday. Tonight is actually Democrat night at the fair. So we'll go check out their tent here in a minute. This is another great night at the Delaware County Fair. The Midway is officially open, and you have 4 more chances to swing by our tent. Republican night is Thursday, so you know what that means. All right, and then check out here. They're all back out here again.
Now for Delaware County, what that means, everyone wear purple.
That's right. We got the whole crew. We got people doing things that they do. You know,
I'm amazed at all
here-
this blue. Like
here's
Rory,
I
she
know,
doesn't
it's
know
so
that she's a
weird.
Republican. Where's her red?
Yeah, it's so weird. I get tired of the specific colors. Like I like people who do like the green thing. I mean, obviously that's his name, so that makes sense. William Hughes, I like his is like dot matrix. His sign is like the old printer paper. I love it. I love it. I love William. Okay, so that's a pretty busy fair scene. Now I'm going to tell you, the Republican and the Democrats used to fight. All right.
Well, how can they fight now? You're one big group.
Well,
You're
yeah,
like a
right.
glob.
Right. Okay, so now let's go down here and see what's going on with there. So there, look at this. Let's see if they had anything else. Okay, so this says where it starts. Where's it start? All right, Delaware County Fairgrounds.com, 2025 Delaware County Fair. Okay, every night during the Delaware County Fair, catch free shows on the AgBest stage. Oh, that's the fair thing. Okay, let's see here. Let's get into the. All right, here's
peeps.
Win a big screen TV.
Wow.
They are giving you a big screen TV. Build a community and get involved. Democrat night. Okay.
See, the great thing about Madison County for the Republican Party, that Kelly Hewer, you don't win a big screen. You just have to sell your soul. So that's what they ask you for over there. Win the selling of your soul if you join them.
Yeah, right. Kate, we don't have crowns on the political spotlight. Doesn't get a crown. That pisses me off. We should have like the #1 crown.
Right?
Yeah, that's crazy. She had to jump over to see that.
I mean,
okay,
look,
so
she's looking for a fight. Come take my crown, Tweety Bird.
Yeah, right.
I like a brawl.
So yesterday, they say we're out at the Delaware County Fairgrounds, making friends, listening to music, tasting all the fair food, and hoping the rain holds off. Come out tomorrow for Democrat night at the Delaware County Fairgrounds, Muncie, Indiana, and enter to win a new TV and listen to people give speeches while enjoying all the fair has to offer. We got a table for donations. If you have items that can help others, please bring out what you can. We'll be out here from 4:30 to 8:30 until Saturday. Come see us. Okay? And then we got a sign.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? He ran against Rory right there.
Yeah,
Pilgert.
Yeah. We got a couple people here.
Listen, I give it to these Democrats staying loyal to their party.
We got a picture of a merry-go-round.
I thought that's where you were. You were so late.
Yeah, right. We've got a picture of some kids. We've got a picture of a table. We got a picture of a person standing by a I care about box. We got Judge Dunnick back there. We got a person here putting together a platform. We got a couple of flags. We got a band. And we're back to the pictures. Where are the people?
So the moral to this story, everybody who's watching tonight, make sure you come out to our booth so we can take lots of pictures. And here's the thing, I don't know, we'll just put some people in the picture just to have pictures, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. This is so I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna turn it over to you to do your thing, and we'll cover Madison County. But I'm gonna make a prediction. With the Delaware County Democratic Party. They are bleeding people here locally, but I'm going to tell you what my prediction is. My prediction is they will fill the ballot. And maybe if they don't fill it all the way, they will come damn near filling the ballot. They will put candidates up in, I will say they'll cover 90% of the ballot. They are good at doing that. Andrew's good at doing that.
See, they don't do that here in Madison County.
Yeah. Well,
right?
they
Because
used
we're
to
one
not.
party. Yeah, we're one party. We're a uniparty. So they make deals. The Republicans make deals with the Democrats. Hey, don't run anywhere for that. We're still going to take care of you people. We're still going to do all that stuff. So it's a little bit here in Madison County. We're a little bit more. It's just out there. Like it's like so evident. Like they don't even so pompous. They don't care.
Well, yeah. So the thing is they'll fill like 90% of the ballot, but they're going to lose like all but one race. They might, I believe that Amanda Dunnick will become the judge of Circuit Court 5 as a Democrat. She will be the next Circuit Court judge in Circuit Court 5. She'll be the only Democrat that wins. That's my prediction. I'm putting it out there as of today. That's my prediction. And I don't even know who's all filed. So that's all I got to say. It's your turn now.
Everybody already knows that I made the prediction last year that whoever came out of the primary would be the automatic wins in the general.
That's a fair thing, though, because that's right. That because your elections aren't in November. Your elections are in May because
in Madison County, our elections are in May, and people often say, well, I only go to the general because I don't want to declare a party. And what we need to have is a bigger turnout in the May, because that is the elections are over in Madison County in May in the primary. So here, and I think that what the Republican Party is going to see, there's going to be a fight in Madison County. I think we're going to see a lot of people. They're out there. I think whether anybody likes it or not, Chloe, I'm sure you're watching me, Kyle Pierce. You people want to say that nobody's listening to me and nobody's watching me.
Chloe,
news for you. There are people who are watching. There are people who are getting more and more disgusted. And I really believe that people are getting more and more empowered when they see Kristopher and I on the show, when they see other posts going up, that people have just had enough. Now, the one thing in Madison County I'm going to predict, we're going to see a huge race in the primary with the Republicans. We're going to see 2 Republican teams running, and we're going to see a fight for these seats. What's going to come out of this is, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to force more cheating in Madison County. It's going to force more ballots to be produced, more ballots to be pushed through. But I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of people on the inside who are calling me, who know exactly how the cheating is going to go on. And I have a feeling there's going to be some fallout from all of this. I think this is great. I think that it's time for the Republican Party. The gig is up. Kelly Hewer ran with things will change. I will make things different. I won't follow Russ's lead. Well, we've all seen so far she's been an epic failure, not surprising. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. But I think there's a lot of people who are upset, and I don't think it's just gonna be at the county level. I think we're gonna see it all the way through the state level. I think we're gonna see lots of people come out. People are mad about State Bill 1. I mean, they're just mad about it. And when you see somebody as pompous as Kyle Pierce, who says, well, I know it kind of disturbed your fire territories, but you know what? Why don't you go tax it over here to make up for that? Yeah. Why don't you just resign because you're a complete moron?
Yeah.
None of that makes sense. And this concept in Madison County, let's max the tax, is off the chain.
Oh, yeah, that's no question.
Real
quick.
Yeah.
Ryan Webb, or not Ryan Webb. Jesus, I'm sorry. I don't know if you know him. Ryan Graham. You see how that I could make that mistake. Ryan Graham, I love your comment here. Ryan Graham says, I was told my taxes would go down. Your governor candidate last year first wasn't saying it, then felt like he was pushed into saying it, started saying it. Your candidate for lieutenant governor was saying it like a madman. You have people like J.D. Prescott running around lying like complete assholes. They are running around, oh, yeah, we're going to cut your taxes. We're cutting taxes. Those people are all liars. Braun is a liar. Beckwith doesn't have a clue, doesn't know what he's doing. And 99.9% of the people in the Indiana General Assembly, both state reps and state senators, are complete idiots and don't know what they're doing. Amen. You're right there. I agree 1,000%, 100%. Now, I want to ask you this. You don't have to tell me where or whatever, like, but I guess I'm kind of interested. Would you be okay with divulging the area you live, like what state Senate district you're in, or what state
Ryan
rep
Graham?
district you're in?
I'll know who he is.
What?
I'll tell you who Ryan Graham is.
Is he in Madison County?
He's in Madison County.
Okay, all right.
I think he might have Pierce. I don't know his exact location. I just know it. But he's got Pierce, I think.
Well, okay.
I can't remember if he's in Stony Creek 3. If he's in Stony Creek 3, then he's got Rory. And then Gaskell's his senator.
Okay, so Gaskell. All right, so that's all I needed to know. Gaskell, Roway, Pierce. Okay, so it's your senator's Gaskell. I don't care if it's Roway or Pierce. Here's the bottom line. Do you know anybody that would be willing to run against Roway or Pierce? This is what we need.
Exactly.
Listen, this is the thing. Filing for next year's election starts the first Wednesday in January, and it runs through the first Friday in February, give or take a day or two. It's basically that. It's the first Wednesday in January until the first Friday at noon in February. We cannot wait. We cannot wait until then to worry about it. We have to start planning this now. We need people to start planning. We need people to start putting groups together. And this isn't the Republicans screwed us on this tax deal. So, all right, we're going to vote all Democrats. Because first of all, Democrats aren't going to run. And the Republicans aren't who screwed you. Well, who screwed you were idiot establishment-minded zombies. We need actual for the people doers.
You know, say what you mean what you say, just don't say it mean.
Yeah, Tommy.
And that's on my page too. This Tommy Ice, that's on my page too. I did share that. So I posted a lot today because there's been so much going on. Let's see here. Well, let's show my post.
Well, so which post are we looking at?
We're going to talk about the fair.
Is it the one with Kelly?
With Kelly, yeah.
We'll come back to the balanced budget because I think that is important to talk about. Tell it to us, Tweety Bird. New campaign slogan. All right. So here's her post. I'll read it to you here. You can't really see it, but you can go on her wall if you want to see it. I'll give you the rundown. Here are the faces in Madison County Republican Party that are destroying the foundation it was built on. These people have superficial faith, a Facebook plastic personality. Ooh, I like that. That is fueled by narcissistic behaviors. These people have superficial faith, a Facebook plastic personality that is fueled by narcissistic behaviors. That is a dangerous combination. This type of culture has gone on for far too long. This growing parasite needs to end. This is not how government for the people, by the people, and of the people operate. Working hard to exclude as many Republicans as possible. And Democrats, honestly, on that side, and whatever. It's excluding good, hardworking Hoosiers. Okay,
it's an epidemic.
That's the thing. It is an epidemic. All right. Anyone who believes a word that comes out of the mouth of these four individuals, we're going to show you in a minute, and their elected cult of forcing ballots must wake up. Honest, dedicated, transparent Republicans or conservatives, if you will, who want to grow a party would never exclude Republicans or conservatives from county events where everyone in the county is welcome. Look at this group, not one minority, and none of them have served our country. That's Catherine words. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I would assume that's true.
There's 4 of them. That's
Okay.
true with the 4 of them.
Okay. The best way to grow a party and raise funds, bring in new faces of all backgrounds, the younger generation, encourage more veteran involvement, welcome new Republicans who have moved to the county or who may reach out to other Republicans. As you walk by the Republican booth at the Madison County Fairground, be sure to voice your disgust with this manipulating, deceitful, two-faced, morally and ethically bankrupt cartel who wants your money and your vote, but consistently does not want your voice or your presence unless you conform to their brainwashed nonsense. These growing parasites will stop at nothing to save themselves while they destroy the community. If you see people working this booth, understand those smiling faces refuse to hear you in public forums or allow you to attend meetings unless you are willing to pay, not just financially, but with your soul to the devil and your right of free speech or to free speech. The display of behavior in our government officials is what destroys democracies, republics, destroys what we've got going on here. Toleration at the city and county levels will lead to toleration at the state and federal levels. Then guess what? Welcome to communist America. Enough is enough. Maybe we should post the Constitution of the United States and the state of Indiana at the county fair booth this year, so those who are working this booth can actually re-educate themselves of the words and rights of this document. They of all people should be upholding the written foundation we swear to protect. I would ask the community to take photos while you're passing by the booth. If only elected officials may work the booth, this excludes all spouses, all vice PCs, as they are appointed. This excludes all appointed PCs, and technically, according to Russ Willis, these 4 individuals are not voted into their positions by the community. And that's not just according to Russ Willis. That is true. So technically, these 4 are not elected. They absolutely, technically, and in all forms, these people are not elected officials. So they should not be working there. And they should not be working this at all. With the exception of the corrupt commissioner, Ricky Gardner. For the few honest elected officials who are transparent and still believe in the community, thank you for all you do. Thank you for sharing with the community. I know I cannot name you due to the retaliations that you will receive, but do know the people are watching. It is time for the community to begin running for offices so we can cleanse this county and all counties of these parasites. If you are not registered to vote, please get registered. It does not take you long. It is very quick. It takes you 3 minutes, and you can do it today. It is so easy. All you've got to do is go to indianavoters.com. That is indianavoters.com. Register to vote. Check or update your registration. Go to the following link, www.indianavoters.com. That's voters with an S at the end. indianavoters.com. It takes you 3 minutes. You need your name, your address, and your driver's license number. Do it. You can do it in 3 minutes.
So how this started is, if you go down, I think 2 posts before this, how this started was in the middle of the night. I was reading an article in the paper, and in the paper, keep going, one more. I think it's one more post. It talked about, no, one more. So I posted a lot today. Right here, this is where this started. And so do you want to read? This is how this all got started at like 4 o'clock this morning, right?
So she posted this 15 hours ago, 5:55. This will be a very interesting case to watch it. Well, let me read the paper first, then I'll read your post. So, Beckwith supports lawsuit against Indiana Republican Party. We've talked about this on the show. We talked about it a couple nights ago.
Yes.
Lawsuit was filed by Joseph Borka against the Indiana State Republican Convention Party, the party, and all he wants. He does not want money. He's not asking for anything crazy. He is suing them, simply saying, please follow your rules, not follow my rules, not follow rules we're trying to force upon you. Please follow your written rules. That's all. Now, Joseph Bortka, I'm going to get with him. He is going to come on next week, and we're going to detail this. I've reached out to him. We've talked, and he's going to come on and talk all about this. That'll be a great show. If you're interested in fighting and what's going on, this kid, I need to stop calling him kid. This man is wonderful, and he's strong, and we need more people like this guy that's coming on. All right. Beckwith supports lawsuit against Indiana Republican Party. And I want to say this. I'm not a fan of Beckwith. Okay. But what I look at here is, in this situation, is Beckwith signing off and supporting this. First of all, Beckwith doing this is a good thing. But I don't look at this as just being Micah Beckwith, the man, the person. What this is this is the office of the lieutenant governor signing off on this lawsuit, and that is big. So you can replace the name with anybody. It could be Beckwith or anybody else, but the fact that the lieutenant governor is doing this is big. And I will also give credit to where credit's due. I appreciate that Beckwith signed off on this. He's doing the right thing here. So Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith is among several Hoosier Republicans backing a new lawsuit against state GOP, claiming that party leaders undermined the right of the delegates by making convention changes beyond their authority. Joseph Bortka, a 2024 state convention delegate and current Marion County Republican precinct committeeman, filed a lawsuit Sunday in Marion County Superior Court. The suit names the Indiana Republican Committee, 2022 Convention Chair Ed Simcox, and the 2024 Convention Chair Randy Head as defendants. The complaint alleges that the party leadership repeatedly silenced delegates, bypassed convention procedures, and rewrote internal rules without consent. It's fundamentally a shareholder suit. The delegates as shareholders and the state committee as the board of directors, Bortka said in a statement. When the state committee frustrates the attempts to rally the party's collective will by silencing properly brought motions on the convention floor without vote, or rewrites the rules to undermine the will of its Republican membership, they violate their fiduciary duties to the party. Okay? This is a big, big, big deal. So Katherine got up, Katherine read this, saw this, and as we talked about on the show here the other night, this is a big deal going both up and down the political spectrum. And it's a big deal for Democrats. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for anybody that wants to follow suit and help shape other parties. And it can definitely be a big deal for people at the local level, because we could force people at the local level to do the right thing too. So Katherine got on and made this great big long post. This is a very interesting case to watch unfold. Win or lose, at least morally and ethically bankrupt leadership is being challenged. People are frustrated from the cabal who makes their own rules to fuel their personal agendas. As I read this case, I begin to think it's fair time. It's fair time again in Madison County. I have no idea if a fair booth will be held by the Republican Party this year, but the question is, if there is a fair booth, was there a volunteer sign-up sheet circulated to all Republicans, or just the select club that Kelly Hewer, Ricky Gardner, Kara Wilkinson, and Nick Freeman chose? As all of us remember, last year, the GOP chair at that time, Russ Willis,
No, she wasn't the chair at that time, but last year she was the vice chair.
She was the vice chair.
And now she's the chair. So we've taken the evil and promoted it. We have rewarded bad behavior in Madison County. I mean, this is how ridiculous the county is.
So Kelly Hewer, in her position last year, chose to take down the fair booth early because they did not want certain Republicans who didn't fit their mold to work with the booth. However, Kelly Hewer, Connie Gardner, Jennifer Culp, Rachel Landers, and a select few of others claimed they removed the booth because the fair is not busy on a Friday or Saturday. Say what? That's the busiest time.
Right?
Kelly Hewer often blames Russ Willis for behaving badly and then claims I had nothing to do with it. Well, it's Kelly's Hewer's show now with Kara Wilkinson and Ricky Gardner and Nick Freeman. Not much has changed except the size of the egos and the faces. The question is, how long will we stay silent and tolerate these bad actors this time? All of Madison County must remember that we are all stakeholders to the local Republicans or Democrat parties. We, the people, have the right and are voted on by the local officials constantly and inconsistently. We, the people, have rights that are violated by the local officials consistently and inconsistently, I guess. I don't know what constantly and inconsistently. I don't know, whatever. Even though we have challenged,
choose when they want to challenge.
All right, I guess. I mean, yeah. So some people they don't, other people they do. Yeah. And I guess really it is. It's if you don't, if you question them, they're going to violate you, and if you don't,
constantly.
Yeah, right.
If you don't, and you're making the same error, then it's so the inconsistency.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Even though we have challenged some of the election crimes and violations with no consequences for the cabal, their luck and deceit will eventually run out. But we must keep engaging, challenging, exposing the corruption before we, the people, lose everything that America was built on. We must clean up our trash in our own backyard so the stink doesn't keep lingering into the state officials. The power is always in the people. We just have to exercise our right and not fear them.
And I think that's what so many people fear these people, and I have no idea why. So I'm excited to see this case, no matter how it turns out.
Yeah.
Because it's a win-win, people, no matter how this turns out.
Well,
so if you go to these pictures on that post right there with Kelly Hewer, so what happened is I made that post this morning. By the time I got to work, I had several email pictures. Ding-a-ling, I don't know why she thinks nobody's going to give me something. So now we've got this. And so what she did this time is she wanted to make sure that only elected Republican office holders. Only.
Let me see this.
Kelly Hewer, you better not be at that booth.
Yeah, right.
You better not be at that booth.
Yeah.
Nick Freeman, you better not be at that booth.
Yeah. Calling all Madison County elected Republican office holders. We're proud of the strong, dedicated team representing Madison County, and we want to highlight you and the great work you're doing. This year's Republican Party fair booth will be dedicated to current Madison County elected Republican office holders only. Now, this is weird.
And here's the thing. You know, we're not doing it because 4 of those seats are up in the council. Bethany Keller, I hope she runs. I think she can get reelected. I really do. But 3 other seats are open, and you're not bringing out your people now?
Yeah.
You're not trying to announce it? I mean, she's a total moron. I mean, you should be bringing those people. But here's the thing. Elected Republican office holders. Do you know who the most important people are? The most important people are your PCs. They're there for you in caucus. They're the ones that go out and work your area for you. They're the ones that get you votes. And what are they? Chopped liver? I mean, you're not even letting your PCs participate in this if they want. So PCs did not get this email. Now, here's another interesting thing. Freeman and those guys want to say, oh, no, we treat all elected officials the same. Do you guys understand? Kara Wilkerson, too. You guys understand that PCs go on a ballot. You understand that? You 4 morons are elected by the PCs. You're not on a ballot.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you don't like me calling them morons, well, I don't know how else you want me to explain them. Because at this very point, I don't know what else to say. This is the most idiotic thing of alienation.
Yeah, why would you not want to put candidates for next year forward? That's so stupid.
So if you see this person at the fair,
yeah,
maybe you tell her she needs to go get a salad instead.
Take a picture of
and
that
then
person.
tell her that you are disgusted with her. That's how disgusted I am. And if you think I'm being mean to her, the things she has said, the things she has done, the cartoon characters that she says I didn't know anything about, I am done with. That is one lying piece of not even a female representative. What female would want to represent other females? This right here, this little group, this is a group of mean girls right here. That's all this is. This is Chloe, and I don't know what her name is. It should be agnostic.
Where is her shoulder? Where's her neck?
That's right. That's Kyle Pierce's wife, who rides on his coattail. If she wants to be this big bad woman, then you know what? Go out there and run, Chloe. Get yourself out there and run, because I'm going to tell you something right now. You've done a fine job at what will come out with Kyle Pierce. A fine job. Because what you did is made people go dig for lots of things. And then you've got Jennifer Culp here. You've got Connie Gardner here. You got Rachel Landers, and you got Kelly Hewer. And all they want to do is suppress women.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that it's these type of women that always want to suppress women.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the point is here. Now, here's the thing. Chloe and those guys like to say that I'm a liar. Please show me anywhere in my publications that I have lied. I will apologize. I will fix this. I have no problem doing that. But Kelly Hewer promised that the Republican Party would be different. No, all she has done is she has duped the people, and she has fueled herself with all this ego and power. This woman runs around with a license plate, like the number 1, and I forget what it's. I mean, I have the license plates. They've got them something for the Republican Party. This is how full these people are of their.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just. It's the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Listen, I will tell you something. These people have no identity without being in elected office, without having
or the hangers on there around.
Yeah, they're somehow having their tentacles all into the political. That's all they have. These people have nothing else to turn around and say, look at what I've done for the community. Look at what I've achieved in my life. And I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you what I've achieved in my life. The list is long, and it is far from being done. But this right here, this group of women, there are no words to express. The only word I can truly use is parasites. Yeah. Because no one would treat people and then smile in their face and act like nothing's happened.
Oh, I could tell. You could have flashed this up here, and I would and been like, describe these women, and I would have pegged it straight out of the gate. I could have told you every bit of that.
I mean, and then they want to hide behind their faith. Well, I just want you to know God's not going to be real happy with you people. I'm just telling you right now, because I have just about had it with everything. It's one thing to, accidentally, hurt somebody or something like that. But when you get up every day and you put out crap saying, oh, only elected officials can come. Oh, well, we've messed up the emails. We don't have everybody's emails. You got to be kidding me. So this email went out. It said for elected officials only, did not invite anybody else. It's not introducing anybody else. And so with this whole thing, we have spun off a new Republican club, and I am not a part of that club. I don't know a lot about that club. I know some of the players in that club, but I had no idea. I learned about it just like you, the people, have learned about it. So if there's anybody who thinks that Katherine Callahan is behind this CARES group, no. Katherine Callahan.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not Katherine.
It is absolutely not. And I know just about as much as the public knows. So just like the post that was put out by the CARES today, I learned about that when it got posted. There's nothing behind the scenes with Katherine Callahan that's going on.
Well, I just don't understand.
I mean, I'm happy for them.
These people hide And the way that these people, they're like, oh, we can't let, first of all, there's nothing that stops you from going and standing right in front of their booth on the midway or whatever and handing shit out. They can't stop you from doing that.
Right. And here's the thing. I have talked with the CARES group people today. They will be welcomed at our booth. The booth will not solely be just about Republican Party. I want everybody to understand that. The booth will be about water and our water issues. It will have the petition there for people to sign for the RUD up in North Madison. It will have the Nowhere Trail for the A Street and to gain more information. I'm trying to get to see if I can get some yard signs there so people can pick those up from the fair. So I'm the booth is for the people. If you have concerns, you want to come talk to us, please, if we can help. But what else will be there? You will have something if you want to register to vote. We will absolutely ask you if you're registered to vote. So, it will be a
take a couple different things. Well, no, really what you need to do is you need to take, someone needs to have a tablet there.
Yeah, we'll have that. Well, yeah, we're going to have that where we can sign people up right there as well. So all you need to have is like a valid either driver's license or identification card. That's what we need to make that happen. So, I mean, this is the whole thing. I don't understand how you would use a county function to abuse your power and alienate the majority of your county, the majority of your voters. I don't understand it. And as well as I do, they're going to be sitting over there and they're going to have people over there who are not part or who are not elected officials. I don't want to see one spouse there. Not one spouse at that booth. I'm telling you, because I'm going to call them on it. Because here's the deal. With Katherine Callahan, your gig is up. I'm going to continue.
Even your jig too.
Right? Continue to consistently call you on your behavior. If you only, and here's the thing, that post went up this morning. Whatever time you said, 4 or 5 this morning. By 8 o'clock, I've already got 4 or 5 people sending me information.
Yeah.
What's that tell you? People are reading my posts.
Well, yeah.
Right? And they're sick of it too. So Kelly Hewer, you can sit there in your little group and you can think that these people are your friends, but your friends have to be speaking to other people and other people may not be so much your friend.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing. The amount of people that I'm hearing from in the courthouse behind the walls who are calling me with information. Yeah, this is going to get exciting. So, and people ask me, what am I running for? I don't know what I will do come next year because I feel like in some ways, if I do run for something, I can't speak as frankly as I am able to. But then I think, well, you're an elected official. You can't get fired.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever. So this is the whole deal. People continue to keep your eyes and ears open. Of course, I'm going to put the information out to the best of my ability to gain people on our side who says we can no longer recycle the trash. And I'm telling you, when I saw those emails come through, I had to calm down for a minute because I wanted to start my post. This is how trash behaves. And my staff's like, no, you can't do that. Maybe you should put it in Chat GPT and be a little bit, softer. But I feel like that's cheating when I do Chat GPT because I'm still old school. But I thought that, the superficial plastic Facebook narcissist is a great example of what the Republican Party is in Madison County.
Yeah.
And so you can dig your heels in. You can do what you want to me from the Republican Party. But I'm telling you, I truly believe we are gaining traction on the other side. The more they do, the more they spew, the more people are like, okay, I see what's going on here. So I just want people to get involved and to see what's happening. We've got huge water issues that are still developing. You're watching people go from meeting to meeting throughout Madison County, silencing more and more of the public. This has this has become so infectious. This is infecting people quicker than COVID.
Well, yeah. Now, hold on. Before we move into the water thing, a couple of things that still tied to this whole talk here. So these things kind of all loosely thread together in my mind. As I told you guys a couple days ago, I didn't say this while he was gone, but he's back now, so I can tell y'all. Brandon Rudd, y'all know him. If you don't, you're new. Please subscribe. If you don't know Brandon Rudd, please subscribe to this podcast because you probably haven't. And you need to figure it out. Anyways, Brandon and his significant other, his better half, were in Japan.
And now they're expecting?
No. They were in Japan, and they were there for a good long period, like 2.5 weeks or something like that, like a good long time. And Brandon told this story. I think they were in Tokyo. And he said that, without fully having an understanding, and we're gonna have him hop on and talk about some shit coming up, and maybe he'll talk more about this. But he told us told Kate and I this interesting story. I think they were in Tokyo, and without knowing what's going on in Japan's like political history, like I'm a political junkie, but I don't know what the hell's going on in Tokyo. I don't know what's going on in Japan. I don't know much about their government. He didn't either. But apparently, they are currently in an election cycle of some kind. And look, Catherine nodding her head like she knows. Anywho.
That's because I'm Japanese and I'm not Korean.
Yeah.
Well, or Chinese.
Yeah, right. Well, we're talking about Japan. I didn't say Korea. Anyway. So he said that during their time there, he saw several candidates, like different candidates, out and about doing their thing, campaigning, walking door to door, stumping, and he said that a lot of them would have like the old, like what we're used to seeing. Let me show you here.
Lenny, I'm going to tell you your fortune in a minute.
Go ahead and tell it to him while I'm looking this up.
I saw the fortune cookie and I'm like, well, I'll just tell you your fortune. You're right. So it's
well, or go ahead while I'm looking this up.
So I just think that, Chloe, her name is like her last name. I don't know. Chloe asked, I'll just give her that name. She believes, and I don't disagree with her, that knocking on the doors is how you win elections.
It is. That is how you win elections.
I don't disagree with her. So Chloe got on a forum and she says to me, hey, Catherine, she says, why don't you let me know when you get out of the primary and then you can give me some advice on how to win. And then
nobody gives a shit about winning. We don't want you to win. We want you to lose. But it's not about winning. It's not being an asshole once you've won.
Right?
What are you talking about?
And so she's putting this all on there. And I'm like, well, Chloe, I think you're doing a great job showing everybody how you lose over time.
Yeah.
The way those two speak to people on social media is unbelievable. I'm not an elected official. So, I mean, I don't know where you get off having a discussion with me. And I'm going to tell you guys, all of you guys.
Foot. Go ahead.
If you come into my office and you see me and I'm your provider and you're seeing me for this today, I am going to have the discussion of whatever is going on in that room.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, what you see on this show is the same way I practice.
What you get.
Yeah. There's no difference. And my patients, and I will tell them, sometimes you got to put the cookie down.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I even have that own problem with myself, but it's, and sometimes I say to my patients, there are no amount of pills that I can pull out of my pocket that's going to fix you.
Yeah.
The only fixing that's going to take place is when we start working on the inside of you.
You have to. Yeah.
That's the reality. And people will come back and they will
Sure.
say to me, you were so right. I'm not taking any of my antidepressants now because I went to counseling and it's more than just pills. So
Sure.
I don't want anybody to think here that Catherine's like this, because that was the one thing she hit on. She says, why don't you get out from behind your keyboard if you think you're so big and bad?
There's no
Say
different.
myself,
Yeah, Catherine's the same all the way around.
I'm out there all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just censored on this show a little bit more because
she's more.
I have quite the mouth, I'll tell you.
She might be more censored here. Yeah, she's more crazy in public. Yeah. All right, I found this picture. So the story. So this here we've got Bobby Kennedy on the back of a flatbed truck campaigning, and they used to do this in American politics a lot. They don't do it anymore. They don't campaign anymore. Campaigning is not really a thing. Everybody hides from everybody, and they just hope that you're going to go and pull a straight ticket. But here's Bobby Kennedy on the back of a truck, and he said a lot of the candidates over there were doing this. They would be on the back of like a flatbed, and they had a speaker, and they're over there doing that language that they do, talking real fast and stuff. And he said that they had like shit that they were handing out, and they all had like these great big teams around them of people, and you could tell they were all together, and they were all going out like Japanese precision. You know how the Japanese are. They rock and roll, and they do what it is, and they were going out and they were knocking and doing their thing, and they all had these people taking pictures and getting it on social media. And he said one day his wife was out there and she snapped a couple pictures and a couple videos, and he's going to provide those to us so we can show them on the show. And he said that he was like getting something in a line or getting something out of a vending machine, like a fart in a jar or a pair of panties or something in a vending machine like they sell over there. And he said that he saw this Japanese guy coming over to his wife, and he's like, uh-oh, like she's taking the picture, like we're getting ready to be thrown in jail, like this is going to be an international incident. They're gonna smash her phone, and they're gonna go through all of our luggage and everything. And he was like freaking out, and he's like, he went over there and he was like, what did that guy say to you? Like he thought that they were telling her to like delete the picture, because like clearly you could look at the clothes and realize they weren't Japanese. So like clearly they're not from there. And she's like, oh no, he told me.
Alva's so funny.
Yeah. He told me to post those pictures. He wanted me to post them online. Didn't even care that I'm not from here or whatever. He was so happy. He wanted me to tag this and do this. They were so infectious with the way they were campaigning that they were wanting to reach everybody. And Brandon said that they gave him some pamphlets and stuff, and he got a couple of them. And of course they look like, our literature here, but it's just the point that he said that he felt like there was a total difference in Japan with how they were campaigning compared to what we do here. Like, keep in mind, like, I don't know what the deal is with Japan's government, but I know at one point they had an emperor. Maybe they still do, but they've not always been like a democratic society. That's only happened. They've not been as long as we have been.
No, it's a recent, yeah.
And so that's been a recent thing. And the fact that he said the other thing was the public were engaged. Like the public was interested about with what's going on.
No,
and
they read on the subway. Here. Yeah, they read on the subway. They educate themselves before they do things. I mean, my mom was just talking to me at dinner tonight, and she says, Trump's doing all this stuff with these tariffs and things, and they've got all these Toyota dealers here, and it's causing all these problems. And like my mom said, Japanese people don't complain. They methodically watch and they wait, and then they just take their business elsewhere. And so a lot of Toyota is probably, if this doesn't clean up real quick, they're already making plans of taking it to other countries. And then they're going to, do whatever they're going to do. And that's the whole thing with all of these people. At least I tell them I'm coming. Like there's nothing about Catherine that says I'm not coming. right? And so, Japan is you should see the way they think and process, how they treat people. Here's a perfect example. When you're in Japan and you're at the airport and you don't know where you're going, and they don't go, well, your gate, you go down here and then you take a left and you do this. No, no, no. Those people in the airport, they have gloves on. Number one, they have white gloves on because everything needs to be clean. That's why they're white. They walk you to the gate. No matter how far it is, no matter what they're doing, they walk you to the gate and make sure that you get settled. So it's completely a different, when you go to the subway, in Japan, and you go to the subway, it's always clean. The subway is always clean. There is not a trash can in their subways. You are to take your trash home with you. It is your trash. When you go in the subway and you are getting ready to go up the escalators are half the size that they are here in America. You will see that it has just barely enough room for two people. On the right is where people who are not in a hurry, they are all to the side on the right in a single file line. Why is that? Because if there's a businessman or woman who is running late, the side to you is open that they can run straight up those stairs. Nobody has to tell them to get to the side. Nobody has to tell them to be in a single line. They just know. And so it's very different than the culture here. And
well, it's just interesting to me how much that we hide, or we don't go out, that our party, Republican Party's not wanting to, go do debates if Democrats are going to be there, or if it's a Democrat crowd. I'm like, dude, if you can't go stand in a room and answer 3 questions with 3 minutes each for half an hour or whatever, like, you shouldn't be an elected official. And it's just this whole idea of like the whole Republicans not accepting other Republicans, because the whole reason this all comes down to, there were 3 incidents this week that happened that really highlight this. Incident number 1 was, it started off when somebody, not me or you, shared my post that I made that was mad about the Scott Green comment about not letting people speak, and someone shared it, and you put like, finally see his true colors or something, and someone's like, oh my, like, well, he's the best person I know. And I'm like, he might be the best person you know, but he's making a dumb decision here. Do you mean to tell me that everyone you know never makes a wrong decision? Like, the fact that people can't understand that, like, man, my dad's my hero. I love my dad. But I know my dad, who was a genius. My dad was a very intelligent man, a business owner, ran a multi-million-dollar company, was a business. The business was over 110 years old, and he really killed it. Like, he was a genius. My dad was a very smart man. Made a lot of dumb mistakes all the time, and could live up to it. Could own it. Like, I understand that, and it wouldn't. It's not. He wasn't like, oh, you're an asshole, you're calling me out. That's how you learn and you do better. But it's like, people think, well, I know that person and that person's good to me, so I can't say they made a mistake. That's horrible. Now, that is a stupid way of thinking. So that happened. Then the guy made a comment to me, and I talked about this yesterday. The guy made a comment to me yesterday, talking to me when I posted the thing about Dan. He's like, I don't care what Dan does as long as he's not like the last mayor and he's going to jail. And I'm like, so that's the bar we set?
And like, it is.
As long as they don't go to jail, they can do literally anything else. Now, to his credit, he did come back and he was like, I get your point. You're a genius. I love you. Are you gay? I want to marry you. I think you're amazing. No, I'm not. He didn't say all that, but he really loves us here. He said we're the best people in the world. I might be taking some liberties there.
Deflate that ego a little bit.
Yeah, right. Anyways, well,
get you some pills. Give him some of your pills you got.
Yeah. Well, then this, and I want to show this, and well, all's fair in politics, including shady shit. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Well, I want to show you this, and this is very interesting. So I made another post about Dan Ridenhour, about all this thing he's been doing, and I called him out. And this man that I know, and a lot of people know, this man is a conservative. He's just a citizen. He's not an elected figure, but he's very active in all kind of political circles, and he's commenting and stuff. And he made this comment under my post. And this was his comment. He says, "Man, I'm glad not all of us are under the microscope like this daily. We all fall short. I did not listen to this. He didn't listen to my 59-second video.
Of course not.
So he didn't listen to it.
It's better just to fire off.
I didn't listen to this. And if he said that, he should. What do you mean? I didn't listen to this. But if he said it, like that, he's questioning whether he said it, he should apologize. But in truth, that could easily have been any of us. Doesn't make it right, but I know I try to be a good person all the time and fall short of the mark every day. But also, I am not in politics where it's expected to be in the spotlight all the time." Okay? Interesting.
Do these people understand? They volunteered for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one
you
forced
know
them to do
you're going to be in the spotlight. You need to do better. You need to act better, and you need to serve the people on what you're supposed to be doing.
So this post made me mad. He doesn't say anything.
Our tax dollars are paying them.
Well, I want to show you what happened here. This is very interesting to me. I commented back and I said, "Jared Hummer, right. And look, I know he's on our side. And in today's world, it's so hard for people to hold our own accountable. But if we can't hold our own accountable, then we have no business trying to hold others on the other side accountable. Right? Right? And you're also right. We all fall short of the glory of God. But that is not what this is. First off, you're in a roundabout way taking a shot at me for attempting to want better for that guy, want better for Ridenour. Like, you point something out so people will hopefully do better, when by your own admission, you've not even taken the 59 seconds to listen to the video. Like, how are you I can understand if I'm like, "Hey, go listen to that 3-hour live and tell me what you think." No, 59 seconds, bro. It was written in the description. You could have clicked on it and listened to it while you were writing that. It took you longer to write that than it would have for you to listen to it. All right. So by your own admission, you didn't listen to it, but you're taking a shot at me. 59 seconds. That's all it is. Maybe before having too big of an opinion about my take or about me for having this opinion, maybe you should listen to the content that takes under a minute to listen to. That being said, the point has been missed here entirely. So let's try this. Imagine, if you will, that you've been pulled over for speed. Or imagine, if you will, that you're accused of something that you didn't do. Something more heinous, drug dealing, murder, batteries, something. All right. Now, imagine you walk into court, the court of law, to appear in front of a judge, someone that's supposed to be unbiased and ready to judge you on the facts of the matter, not what they think about you or how they feel about you based off of a predetermined thought or thoughts. And your money, if it's a speeding ticket, or your liberty or something else just as serious, rests in the judge's hands, and his or her ability to listen to both sides, the other side against you and your side, and then that judge is supposed to be able to make a decision based on the unbiased look at your case before the judge. Now imagine, as you're walking up to give your testimony, you hear the judge say, "Jared Hummer drives me nuts." Doesn't cuss you, doesn't yell at you, just says, "This person drives me nuts." Are you now going to feel that judge is unbiased and is going to give you a fair shot? Look, maybe the judge would, or maybe he wouldn't. But the thing is, you'll never know, because he has a predetermined, he has predetermined how he feels about you. And now anything that he rules on, you and everyone else should wonder about. Did Jared get a fair shake? That's absolutely like what happened here. This woman was appearing before a board of 3 voting members on July 10th, 2025, and they had the power to make decisions that could seriously impact her life financially. And she, like you, me, and the rest of us, deserved an unbiased approach. But the fact that Mayor Ridenour predetermined his feelings about this woman now throws any possibility of that out the window. He should have recused himself from this vote. He should have abstained because of his approach. His approach was no longer unbiased, and that is a serious issue. What does he say about you under his breath, or me? Well, I know what he says about me, but what does he say about the other people of Muncie? Look, the bottom line is this kind of nonsense erodes the public trust in him, in the process as a whole, and in government. And if we can't point out the failings of our own side in the hopes that they can learn or do better, then we are in real trouble. I also hope you are never in a situation like she was, where the outcome of your situation isn't determined on truth and the merits of the situation, but rather someone's biased, predetermined thoughts about you. This man responds back and says, I did not quite think of it like that. Those are very good points. I agree.
Well,
So I
agree.
have argued with this guy countless times about my thoughts about Ridenour or whatever, but I've always fought with him. Now, this time I took because I know something that everyone else doesn't know, and I unfortunately can't say anything else. What I'll say is this man has been in a situation, and it wasn't like he's not a criminal, he's not doing anything illegal, but he's had kind of a raw shake in life. And so I put it in terms he could understand, and then he's like, well, damn, why didn't you say so?
Well, and I don't know how many people are on here tonight watching from Madison County, and I don't even know if Attorney Laureen White is watching. I had a conversation with her earlier.
Oh, she damn well better be.
Right. I had a conversation with her earlier this morning. And we're very transparent with one another. And, we don't always agree. And it's not that we're trying to put each other down, but we're trying to lift each other up. We're trying to, think how others are going to come after us for our words. And so it was funny when she called me today, and I said to her, I said, I am so tired of people telling me Katherine needs to be nicer at the podium. Katherine needs to, deliver more nicely. Katherine needs to, and it's always Katherine. I feel like Marsha on the Brady, okay, bunch. But let me just tell everybody, because I know through the years, I have picked up a lot of viewers. And Kristopher never used to watch me. He never saw me getting gavelled to death.
Get the hell out of here. I watch that all the time. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so, okay, you want me to quiz you?
Yeah.
So we had about a $200,000 budget in the coroner's office. And I'm going somewhere with this, so everybody just work with me. I had about a $200,000 budget in the coroner's office. We came back and we were very busy. Our numbers tripled what the previous coroner's office was. So we needed more money. We needed vehicles. So we asked for about $400,000. Now, mind you, this was back in 22, 400,000, about 20. So that was in 22. I said up there, when Stephanie Mellinger said, oh, it's not going to get, we're through the worst. And I'm like, it's going to get so much worse. The numbers are going to skyrocket. It's going to be really bad. Kristopher, I sent you a thing in Messenger. I want everybody to see right here and right now why Katherine no longer has the patience for the council or for any of these people who are in that Republican Party. These people are supposed to be unifying the party. It's not Katherine Callahan who's destroying the party. It's not Katherine Callahan who is ripping it to shreds. It is these people who are doing that. Look at the latest budget, 3 years fast forward, that the coroner, because this is what happens when you get their person in there. You beat their boys and you're having all kinds of problems. Look at this budget. Almost now $1 million.
Kate, do you have the way? Can you see that? Is that in the group?
Yeah, it's in the group.
You know the way that you cut it in half so it's very visible in the things. Can you do that? If you could do that, ma'am, that would be very appreciated. While we're waiting on her to do that, I want to say this. Well,
that's
go
how
ahead.
you get sometimes too. You get so fed up because it's like you're beating your head against the wall. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to stab myself with a dull pencil at this point because I don't know. It's people think that I'm angry. I'm not. I'm just exhausted and I'm passionate. That's
yeah.
I'm just passionate about it.
Passionate and exhausted, and I get it. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm one of the people that periodically, like, I'm not like them telling you that. They're telling you that like it's your delivery. Yeah. They're being assholes about it.
Right. And no, and that's the thing. It's not Laureen telling me that, but today she was so fed up. And somebody had said to her, and I just had to laugh when she was talking to me. And I'm like, welcome to my world. I get told that all the time. And then she's like, I know how you feel now. I mean, and that's the whole thing is that Katherine did used to go to the podium and was very nice.
Sure. But now, in fairness, I want to claw back here just a little bit and say, because I do tell you that. I do tell you that there are times I'm like, you should do this differently. But now here's
what do I say to you? That's what I say to you.
Here's the deal. Here's the difference with what I'm saying. And this is why I say it. I'm not saying approach the elected officials any differently.
Right.
Those things are gone.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Jared Hummers of the world. The person who responds back to your post and says, well, what do you mean you saw him in a different light? I know this person and he's a wonderful man. Here's all I'm saying. Will Jared Hummer vote against Ridenhour the next time he runs? Probably not. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chip away at him every time. Because now I've got in. For 5 years, this dude and I have went back and forth. And he's bashed me on everything I've put about Ridenhour. Today was the first day he said, I see your point. Now I got an in. Next time something happens, I'm going to be like, look at this. This is how I tie this to that. Look what's going on here. So maybe I chip away. There are people out there that aren't these people that will vote for, they're maybe on the fence. And that's all I say is you just, that's the other reason why, and I had an attorney that told me this, and we're no longer friends. This attorney and I had a falling out for a very good reason. But I used to do and I'm not admonishing you here. It is what it is. I used to do the exact same thing you do. I used to post thousands of posts on Facebook a day, plus the shows. I used to get in and fight everyone in the comments. And I had an attorney say, your show is your platform. You say, and you make the people come to you. You're the king, and they've got to come to you and bow down and listen to you there. And then you post that shit out in the world, or you make a post here. And when you get the people that come and fight, you don't lower yourself to go down to the comments and smack and bitch smack these people down. You let the other people fight those battles. And then what happens is every now and then when you do have to come down and bitch slap somebody, then it makes it more powerful. Remember last week when you said there was a guy named Michael that had wrote, and he was talking about how I was like an ambulance chaser and all that shit. Remember that? Yeah. I commented back to him and I was like, dude, you need to maybe slow down and come up for air, because I've had you on once before, and I'm not going to subject my audience to your ramblings about how you can start an engine with water and how you were wronged in court. Not every wrong means something's corrupt. Sometimes you just had a bad case. And I slammed him. And the next day he apologized to me and he came back and he was like, well, he was commenting in here, and I'm like, oh, look who come up for air.
Yeah, and I've had that happen, at times too. And it's funny because, my brother called me the night of the election, and he said to me, he's like, you're not even from Madison County. He said, and I thought you had lost your mind even running. And he says, and for all places, auditor, he's like, what were you thinking? And he said, and then I saw how close the numbers were. And he said, I wouldn't take that as a loss. Now, listen, he is up there looking at this stuff all the time in Washington, D.C. He's like, that's 500 votes. He says, what you need to look at those numbers and say, there's over 16,000 people that want your vote.
Yes.
He said, so if I were you, I'd run again.
Who said this?
My brother.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, I'm not, he goes, I can't even believe you're in the middle of this because I'm like so not political. My brother would tell you all my life.
Yeah.
And he's like, but after seeing that, and then he says to me, do you even know 16,000 people? I'm like, oh. So, and here's the thing. When Chloe gets on there and she's on her tantrums with Kyle and they're having meltdowns, the thing is she tells me she picks up all these people to join the women's club, right?
Yeah.
So I went back, and do you know that on the days that she was on there rambling, my numbers went from like only 8,000 views on that day to like 39,000 views. So, I mean,
like that's crazy.
I bet you I canceled your 5 people.
Your 5 people out
that are not going to vote for Kyle, and he didn't win by a lot, anyways.
That's hilarious. So we've got this budget stuff up here.
Yeah, and so this is what I want people to see. There's nothing about me that wasn't trying to be cost effective. I've always tried to be cost effective because even though it's not my money, it's somebody's money. And we still should be conscientious of that. We still should be respectful of that. People work hard for their money, and we should do things the correct way. I'm just very fascinated by what has been asked here.
I want to know, maybe I'll have to reach out to Bethany. I would like to know what they're hearing from the DLGF, that if they have to cut anything from the budget.
Well, and the interesting thing is, I don't know, and not yet. And here's the other thing. I think his current is already at like 500,000. So it's between 400,000 and 500,000, and that's over what Troy and I were asking for. And so this is just and here's the thing. There's things on here I would cut. No, they do not need $1,200 in uniforms. I have no idea where that's come from, but that's just craziness right there. So that needs to, that is a no.
Yeah. Okay, so back up. So this is the 2026 budget request from the Madison County Coroner's Office.
Yes.
And so they've got uniforms.
Yeah. Now, office supplies, I think he probably needs more than that in office supplies.
Okay.
Operating supplies, listen, that is salty because you're looking at roughly $2,300 to $2,500 a case for an autopsy. So when you think about, how many autopsies, I mean, there were days I'd do 6 in a row. So you cannot expect him to know what his acuity is going to be. You don't know what's going to happen. You do need to start doing autopsies on every overdose to prove that they truly died from an overdose so that you can go after the drug dealer. So that's, and we're having more and more of that in Madison County. So, professional services, 500,000. They've gotten a lot busier. So I'm not saying he doesn't need that communication and transport. Oh, I think they're going to need to go up on that. I don't think his numbers are going to go down as we move. Printing and advertising, I guess that's fine. Repairs and maintenance, I think that's a little low. Now, he was supposed to get 2 new vehicles. I don't know if he has gotten those. Rentals for $1,500. I'm not really sure what they're renting. That would be interesting because they own the beer cooler more.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're paying for rent at the pole barn. The hospitals are saying they're going to start charging them to do autopsies in their suites. I don't know if they've started doing that or not. So listen, for this $1 million, we were going to build a morgue for less than this $1 million.
Yeah.
And then other services, machinery and equipment, $10,000. Okay, what else do they got? I mean, body bags alone are crazy expensive, people. Crazy expensive.
So here's page 2, salaries.
So now the coroner only makes like $20-some thousand because when Troy was coroner, so if you have a doctorate degree, you get 1.5 times the salary of the coroner.
Sure.
So say that I run for coroner next time, and Adam gets us to 45,000. That means that I would automatically be bumped to what, 70,000?
Yeah.
Or roughly about around 70,000. So the chief deputy, when I was chief deputy 3 years ago, 19,000. Is that way too low? Absolutely. So I am not in disagreement with these salaries at all. But I will tell you, if the coroner is going to be making 45,000, he better be doing a fair share of the cases.
Sure.
Full-time deputies, and this is what's interesting, full-time deputies with benefits, that's something that Rich Wine has not allowed to happen. He wanted to make them just all part-time people. This is no longer a part-time office. This is a crazy busy office. Like, I am totally in agreement with Adam when it comes to this, but I just want people to start seeing there was nothing up there that I deserved to be gavelled for. There was nothing there that said, Katherine, you are the most expensive coroner to date. Nothing of that sort. So while they tried to drag me through the bud and they tried to say, well, I'm telling you right now, look at this. This is truly, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's crazy numbers, but it's a busier office than it's ever been. And I told Adam when we went through that caucus, I said, this is not the office that you left. This office is now a beast. And I have a strange feeling Adam is starting to feel just how much of a beast this office is. When you're asking for this kind of money, this is a busy office. If you look at Madison County Citizens for a New Morgue, they have all the stats on there that shows how much busier that it's going. There are no full-time deputies in there now. There used to be full-time deputies in there.
That's really crazy, honestly.
Yeah, there used to be full-time deputies. Commissioner Richwine and Gail want to blame me the reason why there's no more full-time deputies, but that's not the case. The fact of the matter is that nobody wanted to take responsibility for that office. It was an office that had been neglected for years. It was an office. Listen, those deputies at times were getting $5 an hour with no mileage, traveling all over this county. When I was in there, it was at $9.48. Let me tell you something. Going out on cases is a very dangerous thing to do. I would be out at 3 o'clock in the morning. I would be in terrible neighborhoods.
Certainly.
Yes, there would be a couple police officers over there. Sometimes it was a busy night. I only had one police officer. I'm going into this room, tensions are high. Their loved one has just passed. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. People have fallen down wooden steps coming out, carrying those bodies. Some of these houses are not the best houses. There's a lot going on. And so even at $15 an hour, I think it's too low, but that is the reality. Questions have been asked why the coroner isn't doing the autopsies. Autopsies are done by the pathologist.
This drives me nuts.
Yeah.
If people don't understand this, coroner is a constitutional office, nutbags. Anybody digging in their ass can sign up and do it, allegedly.
Yeah, as you're 18 years or older,
yeah,
you can do it.
Like that doesn't mean you get to now. I also perform about 6 autopsies a day, and I do it in my basement, and it doesn't cost me nearly as much as it costs you guys. But normal people don't do that, But anyways,
he doesn't need that money. And that's what I'm saying. You're doing a full-time job running a firehouse, you're doing the coroner job. And I will tell you, and anybody who knew me back then, yes, I own my own medical practice, but I answered for that office 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You could call me at any given time. I'd leave the office all the time. I'd answer the phone all the time in that office. And even my staff was like, you spend more time with the coroner than you do actually in this office. So it's a busy thing, but I'm sure his chief deputy is doing a lot of his work at this point. So this is a salty amount of money for 45 grand. And let me tell you something. Marion County is a good example.
Yeah.
Now it's changed. I want everybody to understand Marion County has changed. Now that's one of the busiest coroner's office I've ever seen. The chief deputy makes over 6 figures. The coroner makes around, and the coroner is usually a doctor, and it has been for several years, around 40,000. So that's what that's the thing. These coroners who are making the kind of money that's being asked generally are that they're working that office in those cases. And so now Alfie won the last coroner's race. She is not a doctor. She has a master's, but she's been with that coroner's office for 26 or 27 years. What she did was, because she's been the acting chief deputy, I want to say, for over 20 years, she combined kind of the two roles. So her pay is going to be up there. But if anybody ever gets the opportunity to sit with Alfie McGinty or to spend time with her, you want to talk about an exceptional, outstanding woman who works for that office 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is that woman. I have traveled with that woman. She answers that phone no matter where we're at. She is always there for her deputies. She's constantly talking to the news. She'll have to walk out of the room and talk to the police, and she will do live interviews from wherever we're at. So it's a little bit different, but I want you to put that a little bit in perspective. When your coroner, who is generally doctorate prepared physician, is only getting 40,000, but your chief deputy is getting over 100,000. That's because the coroner has a completely different role generally.
Yeah.
So just so you kind of know those things, but again, maybe Dave Sargent will ask, I want a breakdown of deputy 1, 2, and 3, and how many of those cases they're working, like all those being full-time people, and see if that's been evenly distributed. So that's another thing that you got to look at too, because you don't want to see your chief deputy and your coroner delegating and pushing out all those cases, and they're getting paid all that money while your other deputies are sitting over here killing themselves.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about too. There'd be a lot of questions I would have before I authorize this budget. But again, I am for that budget. That's an office that's been neglected for a long time. So it's a tricky one. Same with the sheriffs. I would approve their budget too.
I'm going to give it to you like this. For anybody that says, well, they're not doing enough or they're sloppy or whatever, I'm putting it to you this way. With less money, they're going to be even worse. It's going to be even sloppier. So, that's just common sense. And there are things that you can't do. Like when you're living in your home and you've got a budget, and there are certain things that you can do without, and there are certain things that you can't do with. Like, for example, you could do without a car payment. Like if you had a car and you had a car payment, you could do without a car payment. And there's a couple different ways you could do that. You could sell your expensive car with your car payment and go and pay cash for a clunker or whatever, but then you got to worry about, is it breaking down or whatever? Or you could just sell it and you could take public transportation if you live in that area or whatever. You could do without a car payment, but one thing you can't do is you cannot do without money to eat. You have to be able to eat or you'll die. Another thing you cannot do away with your mortgage payment or your rent payment. If you're not paying your mortgage or you're not paying your rent, you don't have a home and you're homeless. But you could do without a television. You could do without, expenses whatever.
In Madison County, Meg, you can't do anything with Adam because the elected official doesn't have to turn in a time card. He's
salary.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
The other people, you could request their time cards
Sure.
because they're not, even the chief deputy, but the elected official, it's carte blanche. They get to do whatever they get to do.
Yeah.
The thing is I have harped and harped and harped. When you look at that budget, and this is the one thing I would do, I would look at the transport fees. I would stop the transport and I would buy our own vehicle, and that would be our own transport because we're paying we're doing like
Yeah,
$100
you gotta
full,
look at ways that you can
you
save
know,
money,
and
but you
that's
can't do without the corner. You can't do without the cops. You
right.
can cut a lot of other corners,
Yeah.
but you can't do that shit.
Yeah, and that was the big fight we would get in with Ben Gale because Ben Gale says that the coroner's office only runs from 8 to 4. And I would say to him, I don't know where you're at, but nobody says, oh, I'm going to die because it's 3 p.m. Like our busiest times are at dinner time. The other time is like in the morning when people are getting up or late at night. People have heart attacks in the middle of the night all the time. I mean, that's the busiest time.
No, Megan.
This concept
yeah.
from 8 to 4 is off the chain.
Yeah. Who said that?
Oh, Ben Gale and all those guys, Anthony Emery. I said, I don't know about you, but this is like a baby. You don't get to decide what time somebody dies. Or so here was my answer. My answer was, that's fine. You can put us on from 8 to 4. We'll do 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. No holidays, no weekends. And then you can set a sheriff out there. And when I clock out at 4 o'clock on Friday, then when I clock back in on Monday at 8 a.m., we'll relieve that sheriff because they can't move a body unless you've got a coroner. Like those sheriffs can't do anything. Nobody can do anything with the body until the coroner has, given their blessing. So we could do that. Well, then Mellinger got in the middle of it. And I'm just going to tell you right now, some of you love Mellinger. Nah, he's about the biggest pot stirrer, backstabbing dipshit that I've ever encountered. So he runs off. And he shoots out an email to all the chiefs of police. Oh, Katherine's gonna, she's gonna make us stay out there. She's gonna, yeah. While Mellinger's in the back of the room, could come up to the podium and say, "You guys, that office does not run 8 to 4, right?" But Mellinger would rather lick their nuts than do the right thing. I mean, I don't even know what other way to say it because it's the most ridiculous thing I've said. And I say this because when you watch Beeman at the podium now and he has to beg, borrow, and plead for the money, like they're doing a special session for money for him. And Mellinger walks up there time and time again, and he just gets whatever he wants for as much money as he wants, or he'll do like a huge transfer because he overinflated. When Beeman went into that office, he cut that budget by $500,000. And right off the bat, even if you would have been listening to Tuesday night's county council meeting, they said something, and I don't know the exact numbers. They said something like, well, he's already saved that department area like $56,000. He's only asking for $8,000 back. He is cutting his budget and in real time. And now for him to get the money back, and he doesn't even need what percentage of that? 20% of that? He doesn't even need 20% of it back. He can't get it, but you can go fix a clock tower. And that's what I'm saying to you. It's so screwed up in Madison County. I've just never seen anything like it.
Well, it's absolutely crazy. Kind of moving on because I wanted to give you a chance to talk about this.
The autopsy, Meg, the autopsy reports. So if Kristopher and I, here we go again, are husband and wife, everybody knock it off.
Katherine dies.
And Kristopher dies. I can request his autopsy reports. Nobody else can.
Yes.
But I can. Now, say that Kristopher and I are just living girlfriend, boyfriend, and Kristopher dies. Then it's his mother that can request it or his father. I cannot get
or son or daughter.
Now, here's the thing. If he has a child, and the child is over 18, then the oldest child can request it. So the rules are very
they shift.
They do shift, and so there's a lot more to it on all of that. So there's a lot of pieces of moving parts that you have to know about that. But Chris doesn't have kids, and if we weren't married, that's why it would go to his parents. And then if then it would go to an aunt, and then it just trickles on down from there. So it's just a lot. But yes, if you have a loved one who's passed away and you're either married to them or you're the oldest living kid and it's apparent your parent is not married, then yes, you would be able to get it. So you should be able
but like I issue record requests for shit all the time. I can't just send a record request into the coroner's office and say, I want a record. I want to get this results from this autopsy on John Doe, the homeless man that died face down, butt naked, whatever.
He can get a death certificate.
Yeah,
that's public record.
Yeah,
but he can't get all the ins and outs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can even get the pictures of the actual death scene if you want, Meg, if you're in the right hierarchy there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I know we've gone from fair to death and all.
Well, no, that's good because we've been punching, but I do want to talk about this because so I did contact some sources from Grant County, and I wanted you to be able to talk about this just a bit.
I was so upset last night when I finally got on the computer and I'm like, are you kidding me? You have all these people on there and you do not have me on this show to discuss this? I couldn't believe it. I was yelling at the prompt in the monitor thinking, what?
So here, big bad old Chuck Polling. This man is running around Grant County. He's an absolute
sewage,
fucking terror. Just an absolute.
He needs medication.
What?
He's got anger issues.
Wait, back up here real quick, Tweety Bird.
I have no problem seeing autopsy reports.
I got no problem with it right here. Here's this. Here's this. Look at this.
Yeah.
I've got no problem. Tweety Bird, you want to look at him? Want to see him? Want to see it? No. I got, autopsy reports all around. I just cleaned that out and found that there.
Listen, I made my daughters attend autopsies. I made my daughters go out on scenes with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh
my God. Poke it with a stick.
Just so they know death is real. Suicide is real. And that there's nothing good that comes of suicide.
It comes on many changes. And I can take or leave it. Oh, I thought we were watching MASH. All right, go ahead.
So that's the whole thing. And
wait, back up. Okay, so sorry, that got real weird for a second. Anyhow, Chuck Polling is commissioner. He just won commissioner last year. Started being commissioner of Grant County in January of this year. He used to be a Grant County councilor, and while he was Grant County councilor, he was like quiet, sitting underneath the radar, not saying do anything. He became commissioner.
It's that chameleon.
Bang! He went crazy. He's out headbutting people and yelling, telling other elected officials that he can throw them out of the building, that these are my buildings, I own them. But it's strange that he's only bullying up on and beating up on women.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. I may not be married, or I might be married. Who knows? But either way,
not for me.
I'm going to tell you that somebody would probably come snatch him up if he was speaking to me and behaving the way I was. Now, let me just be clear to you. That would be right after I was done chewing him up and spitting him out. However, I cannot believe that there are actual people standing around that would sit there and watch him behave to this manner. Are there no good people standing around who are like, whoa, you are off the chain, out of control?
Well, that's what's crazy is it wasn't just him. It was also the maintenance supervisor, who's a man who was standing there and kind of laughing and smirking a little bit.
That's what I'm talking about. It's unbelievable.
Wild. Yeah.
I just can't. I cannot imagine that people would stand around and allow that to continue. you know, I was in a store one time with my daughter. She was probably either probably in junior high, and we were out at the fashion mall, and we were in a Michael Kors store, and this Chinese woman came in, and I know she was Chinese, and she had a little baby on her hip. The baby probably couldn't have been more than 14, 15 months, and she had run in to return a purse. And so we were walking out, and the guy was telling this woman, I'm not going to return the purse. You've purchased it online. You cannot return it here. Well, her English was very broken. And so as we're getting ready to walk out the store, my daughter says to me, Mom, you have to do something. And I said, it's not our business. Let's go. And she says, Mom, you are not that person. So we walk out of the store, and she's standing there. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So I go, fine. So I go back into the store, and I go, excuse me, is there a problem here? And the lady's kind of looking at me because her English is, again, very, very, very not very good. And you can tell she's dressed very well. It's not like, you know. And so I said, why can't you return her purse? He said, because she bought it online and didn't buy it here. I said, oh, really? I said, and he goes, and plus it only has one more day and then she can't return it at all. I said, oh, so you want this lady to get a box and ship it back knowing that it's already like 6 o'clock. So I said, okay. I said, that's fine. So I pull out my phone and I start dialing this number, and I get on the phone and I go, I just want you to know that I'm in Michael Kors store. I said, what's your number? He tells me the number, da, 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 da. He says, who are you talking to? I said, you see that sign right there that says if there's a problem in the store to call it? That's exactly what I'm doing. I said, I just want you to know that he is unwilling to return a purse because it was bought online. And the lady, absolutely are supposed to take it back. I said, great. I said, now what's your name? And so, you know, and that's the thing. Even my kid can say, stand up for somebody, do something. This is not right. Well, the purse was returned. The lady looked at me and smiled. And I said, you have a lovely baby. Have a great night. And I walked out and she said, thank you. And I walked out the door. And this lady was literally in tears. So thankful for that. And that's just the way it is. And that's what we're supposed to be to people. And that's why when people ask me, and I'm so sick of this, Kristopher, I hate this. Well, you're just doing this for your political gain or your personal satisfaction. Listen, Katherine can go sit in the hole in lapel. Katherine was completely fine 5 years ago. Katherine be completely fine one way or the other. Katherine does this because what's happening is not right. And why all of us stand down to this, I don't understand.
Yeah, so they used to say that shit to me, and then I finally got over on them when I'm like, look, I am never going to run for political office again. Now, that's a lie. I might run for delegate in this upcoming year, but I'm never going to run for, like, office ever again. But then, now what they use for me is they say, well, you're just doing it for clicks and views. You're just doing it for your show. And I'm like, whatever. Okay. Okay.
You know, and you know what I tell them? You can do the same thing and go get your clicks and views.
Yeah, right.
And obviously, if you're so against it, why are you on my page?
Yeah, right.
Get off my page. Go somewhere else. Then I don't care.
Well, so Kate, producer Kate, asked a great question. Wanted to know if I found out if they have cameras in the hallways. And survey says, yes, they do.
With voice?
The person I talked to didn't know. So
but the actions will speak for themselves.
Yeah. So let me tell you this. I heard some more here. So
right there, what Kate just said. I love how advocates always have an ulterior motive, but the politicians do not.
Yeah, right. Isn't that's funny? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Comical. I love it, Kate. So they're arguing this fight, and it's really nonsensical because he's talking to her about like court records. Like this thing I don't understand. Like there isn't like a hierarchy in elected officials. People
Right? They're all
often
the
think
same.
like the mayor is higher than the council because he's the mayor and they're the council, or the commissioners are higher than the county council, or the counselors are higher than the auditor, or what. They're all the same. They are all the same. Now, that being said, at the end of the day, the sheriff, in my eyes, is a little bit different than a city councilor or a county councilor. Like, you know, the sheriff is a constitutional office. He's an elected official, no different, but he can also like arrest your ass or shoot you.
But
So
here's
there's a little bit of a difference there.
Who is the highest officer in the county?
Okay, this is what people don't get and don't understand. And you and I are probably going to fight this too. The highest law enforcement officer of any county is the elected prosecutor.
See, and for me, it's the elected coroner.
It is not. And let me tell you why this is. And no, Cindy, it is not. I'm going to tell you why. If Katherine is the sheriff of Delaware County and she is out partying it up and drinking and driving, and a lowly Muncie City police officer pulls Katherine, the sheriff, over, and Katherine's like DUI, he doesn't have to call the coroner to come pick him up. He can absolutely pull Katherine out of that car, run Katherine through the stupid human tricks, and take her to jail. What the whole idea of the coroner arresting the sheriff is from the old constitutional office days when we were in the 1800s and shit was sideways and you needed a higher authority if the sheriff was corrupt or whatever. But let me tell you, in order for the coroner to be able to do that, the prosecutor needs to be able to sign off on the probable cause sheet, file that charge, and issue that with because in the where you're talking, where an instance where the quote unquote coroner would come in to arrest the sheriff, it would be based off of a warrant that the prosecutor filed. Let me ask you this. Do you know who the lead highest law enforcement officer is of all of America?
No.
It's the Attorney General. It didn't change. It didn't change, Cindy. Here's the thing. The people got this in mind, saying the coroner is the lead law enforcement officer because they arrest the sheriff. But just because you arrest the sheriff doesn't mean you're the lead law enforcement. They have the constitutional role of being able to elect the sheriff. The Attorney General is quote unquote the Attorney General of America is the top cop. They head the Department of Justice. They are the head of the FBI. They are higher than the department than the FBI director or all of the other things. So then when you get to the state level, do you know who the top cop in the state of Indiana is?
It has to be the Attorney General.
It's the state Attorney General. So in our state, it's Todd Rokita.
I'm a quick study, you know.
Yeah, right. So then when you get down to the county level, and the Attorney General is just a prosecutor. The Attorney General is a prosecutor. That's what that is. So the elected prosecutor of each county is technically the chief law enforcement officer of each county, because if you have the coroner go in these constitutional crises and arrest the sheriff, nothing happens with that if the prosecutor's office does not take on the charge. What happened there? Do you have guests? Come, bring them on.
It's my daughter. It's my daughter.
Bring your daughter on. Let's talk to her.
She's read. No, there was a mouse, and I'm like, go get the dog right now. And I'm like,
go get the gun.
The dog, and so she's running upstairs because she's like, I was in bed. This is not even worth it.
Wait. Who saw the mouse?
I did. Didn't you see me a little bit ago? And I like spazzed out.
No.
Yes. So you gotta get that. Oh. That's why I started losing focus here. But now Teddy's down here with me.
That's hilarious. Well, anyways, hey, we've had that before. We've had mouse.
But at the end of the day, who can arrest the prosecutor?
Yeah, anybody.
Who can arrest the sheriff?
Oh, anybody. I just told you that.
No, only the coroner.
That is not correct, man.
That's what the law says.
Well, it's not correct. You can go and look at videos of cops arresting the elected sheriff in almost every state.
I'm just telling you what Indiana code says.
Yeah, right. But it doesn't say it doesn't say it's the top law enforcement officer. What it says is the coroner in a constitutional crisis can arrest the sheriff. It doesn't say the coroner is the top law enforcement officer. It just says constitutionally the coroner can arrest the sheriff. That's what that says. And so people that's kind of like an old wives' tale that people have sprung. Well, if you're the elected sheriff and you're the top cop, well, that means the coroner must be more important than you are. No, it just means they can arrest you.
Listen,
but
you
like
don't
you said,
ever want to be the coroner and arrest a sheriff. And do you know why?
Why?
Because you don't want to have to run the jail, because that becomes a whole nother crappy.
You don't have to run the jail?
Listen, they talk about all this in the coroner's class.
Yes, listen, but so I maybe you had the mouse. Were you freaking out?
I've got my feet up.
Were you freaking out when I told you that if you were the sheriff and you were drunk, that a lowly cop could pull you over?
I know. I wasn't listening to that.
So they don't have to be like, oh, hey, bring the coroner in. I need to call the coroner out here. We got the live sheriff, but he's drunk. All right. Anyways, so we're going to file a record request for the camera up there. And
but you don't know if it has sound.
I don't know if it has sound.
Kate, she's dancing around down here in the duck.
Oh yeah, she's excited. Yeah, she's happy. She's happy.
So when are we getting these?
Well, I'm going to file a record request tomorrow morning because I found that out this evening.
And what if they tell you that the cameras weren't on or something stupid?
They'll probably tell me that. I'll have to fight for it. It'll be a fight. It'll be a fight. But
I just can't believe nobody turned on their phone and started recording this.
Well, wait. I didn't tell you the more. So the court staff hear this commotion in the hallway, and the court bailiff contacts the
security kind of
security, the court security. They're basically sheriff's deputies, reserve or special deputies. Right. So they belong to the sheriff's department. Goes up and tells this dude, hey, you got to quiet down. Like, you got to come with us. We're going to go outside. We got to cool this down. And he tells them no. So here's what goes on. At this same time, one of the deputy prosecutors, not the elected prosecutor, but a deputy prosecutor, and two investigators from the prosecutor's office come out into the hallway. So now we got this like Mexican standoff between this nut job commissioner, and I want to say it again for the Ed Bounds of the room, nut job commissioner of Grant County, Chuck Poling, and he's out there yelling, screaming, cussing. I can throw you out of here. I can make you, I can get you, I can fire you. I own these buildings. I own the buildings. I own the county. And they were telling him, like, you got to come with me. They were like, you need to leave. So they're forcing him to leave. And they go and they get on the elevator, and he gets in the elevator, and the sheriff's deputy is going to get on the elevator with him, and his maintenance man won't let the sheriff's deputy on the elevator.
What?
Yeah. He's like bouncing, like, posted up in the door, not letting it shut, but not letting the guy on. And I guess the investigators were like, get the F out of the way. Get in there. And they finally got in. And I guess he was cussing them all the way down in the elevator. Like, I'm hoping there's body camera footage. I've not got an answer.
That's what I wondered. I wonder if there's body footage. And here's the other thing. I'd like to see the footage going out of the building and outside. I mean, like to see how his behavior was leaving.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to work to get this. I'm going to do everything I can to get this because it will be beautiful.
Here's what I think. Chuck Polling, I think the stress of being a commissioner is getting to you.
The 7 months worth of it.
Maybe all the secrets and lies are starting to eat at your soul.
And your brain.
So just go ahead and resign today because nobody is going to put up with you doing this to a woman. And I will tell you, if somebody from Grant County is watching, I'm more than happy to come to council commissioners.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be more than happy to stand up at that podium. It don't bother me one bit.
Yeah. So here's what we need to do, I think. I'll make the deal with him. If he resigns, I won't get the footage and make you look like an idiot. And we'll just leave you alone. Just resign and we'll not mess with you right off into the sunset. And we'll never mess with you again.
We'll let you go mess with your cesspool of stuff that you like to play.
Yeah, your wife and the shit and all that.
Maybe he's got E. coli eating his brain.
That might be happening. I don't know. I don't know why he's acting so crazy, but that is going on, and it's crazy. Well, and I want to tell the people of Grant County, please learn from this. If any one of you get in an altercation with Chuck Polling, if any of you see him coming, if any of you see him yelling with other people, pull out your video camera and record video. Or if you're afraid to do that, take a picture. Or if you're afraid to do that, pull out your audio recorder and at least record the audio. Do something to get that and get it to me. I will never tell who you are. I will keep you a secret, but we need to see stuff. More importantly, I'm telling you, people of Grant County, do not interact with Chuck Polling without turning your recorder on. You have a right to do it. Indiana's a one-party consent state. You can record him. He doesn't have to like it. He doesn't have to know about it. You don't have to tell him. He can like it. He can not like it. He can flip sand. And we'll help you how we can. Just if you're within 20 yards of Polling, record. Yeah, right. Yeah, like Kate said, if you're within 20 yards of him and he's around doing something, record him to protect yourself.
Let me ask you this. So you're the commissioner and you're having a disagreement with another elected official. And I mean, if I were this woman, so now this woman, could she get like a protective order? Could she file a hostile work environment?
Sure.
Could she? I mean, I'd be like getting it on with this guy.
Listen, the state police is investigating this for possible charges.
And it should be. I mean, this is craziness. I mean, this is intimidation. This is, I mean,
the prosecutors' investigators are the one that told the office to document what they saw. I think this guy might be in some trouble. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a felony. Might not be a felony. If it's not a felony, then we have to wait till he commits a felony, unfortunately.
Well, how many times does he get to do this before somebody just puts the smack down on him?
You understand that he has headbutt an individual, correct?
Well, he was an elected official?
No, this is beforehand.
Okay. So the moral of that story is, oh, it's coming.
He's dangerous. Yeah, he's a nut job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dude is not square in the head.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so
learn from that. That's what we had with Russ Willis. He was a nut job. Now I got another nut job, Kelly Hewer, and she got, 3 little ducklings following her around, or 2 at least, Freeman and Wilkinson. And then, and we all know that Rick Gardner can be provoked. This polling guy makes Gardner and Richwine look like pussycats.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, right. See what Kate said. I'll
Oh
tell
yeah.
you. Rich wine is like this.
Oh yeah.
Rich
These guys
wine.
can blow off the handle real quick. Yeah.
Rich
Rich
wine
wine
could
can
be.
have a
Yeah.
tantrum. Gardner can have a tantrum. Those guys are they are just not stable men. I can only
I've
imagine.
never seen Gardner blow up like that.
Oh,
He's always
yeah.
been
He'll
dumb.
start flailing his arms. This is before I ever got to know you. And he will just, I mean, I'm telling you, in one meeting, see, when we used to turn in claims, you had to fold them a certain way. And if you didn't fold them a certain way, then he wouldn't pay them. Like they had to. So they were in a meeting and there were attorneys in there and it got real heated. And all of a sudden, Gardner just jumps up and he goes, "Fuck the folds, just fuck the folds. I don't care." And I mean, just flailing. I mean, the attorney
As
had
we should. That's stupid.
yeah, it had to calm down. And I mean, and that's the one biggest regret we have is that at that time we were so brand new to the office that we weren't quick enough to record and put stuff on or to have it on when we went into meetings. But yeah, no, Gardner is a loose cannon. It does not
What was the
take
shit when he
much.
grew his hair long? What
I
was
mean,
that about?
yeah, I don't know. It must have been having an affair or something. I got in trouble for saying that. And then,
Did you really?
yeah. I mean, I got in trouble for the Chloe was yelling at me about that I'd misled the people and that, oh my gosh, I'd called this one of the ladies out on having an affair. And then I don't know, turn around 9 months later, guess what? After 36 years of marriage, they're divorced. Well, I guess if I was wrong, that they'd still be married, right? So I don't know. Prove me wrong and show me that it's not. But I saw it with my own two eyes, so I'm pretty sure it was true. So, and that's the whole thing. I'm not going to just go out and sling mud just to sling mud. So it is what it is.
Well, I thank you. Is there anything else?
No, I hope everybody comes out and enjoys the fair. Everybody's welcome at our booth. I don't really care. I don't care if you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you're green, yellow, blue. I don't really care. What I care about is we need to fix the water issues in this county. What I care about is this trail to nowhere is a complete disaster. And what I care about is you need to know who's running and you need to be educated on that. And I want to register you to vote. That's what I care about. So the nutbags that are going to be at the Republican booth can stay down there. And I want everybody to fully know that I'm sure people are going to give me pictures of what's going on there at the fair like they did last year. And we're just going to go from there. And here's the thing. We need to get a good picture of what a hypocrite looks like with Kelly Hewer's face on it, because I'm sure she's going to be working that booth like she's on a street corner. Okay. So let's all just pay attention and see what happens. But we really need to do better. We need to demand better. And we need to speak out better. Don't be intimidated by these people.
Yeah, screw them. They're just people.
Right? They're just people.
They're not even people, really.
I mean, think of them as parasites.
They're not even people. Politicians aren't people.
No.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. Well, as always, we appreciate you coming on and talking with us and keeping us
and the next time you have a bunch of men bullying a female, you better have me on the show.
Yeah, right. I just now saw that Megan wanted to come on. I'm sorry we didn't get to that. I'll have to see what goes on next time. I just now saw that. We normally don't do a whole lot of like call in. Maybe one day we'll have to do that. Those were real popular long ago. Here's the thing, though. The problem with them is they don't want to do it right. You got to call in and you got to have something to talk about. You can't just call in and be like, well, I just voted to it, and whatever. It doesn't work if you don't have.
If somebody said no Meg tonight, it wasn't him or I. So we didn't see it.
No Meg during the chat. No, that was somebody else. I'm sure those people think that you're Some people might think that you're Megan Stoner. We need to make sure people are aware. This is not Megan Stoner.
Yeah.
It's another weirdo, but it's not Megan Stoner.
I didn't remember. Yeah. Go look up Meg Stoner there.
That's the problem. I didn't say it.
I don't recall you saying it. But you know what? We should do a call in.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But people got to be able to do good.
Yeah.
I answered your question if I could move the pickup. Oh, I didn't. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, you go back and find it and you send it to us.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, if anybody needs anything, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
Next week, you'll find us at the fair booth. Nicole will be there to represent. Lisa Summers will be out there to represent. Laureen White probably will be out there. So you'll get to meet all these people we talk about. If you need an attorney, that's a great place to come out and meet Laureen. She won't be representing as an attorney. She'll just be a normal citizen. But like all of us, we're always willing to talk business if somebody needs something.
Yeah.
So come on out and let's have some corn and some fun and cotton candy, and maybe Kristopher will come out and do a live video with us.
That'll be fun. I can't do it on Monday, but
Well, we're there for 6 nights or something.
Well, yeah. All right, we'll have to figure something out.
Okay.
All right, very good. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you all for watching, as always. We will see you all later. You have to have a message people want to hear, Megan. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, what you gotta like plan something out. Say I've had people come on before and be like,
Carrie, you need to come work the booth.
What?
Carrie needs to come work the booth.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, you could be security, Carrie.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, thank you guys. Take care. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful evening. Tonight's Wednesday, so we'll see you back here tomorrow on Thursday for the 490th episode. Dun, dun, dun. We're 10 away, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you guys take care. God bless. Good night. Goodbye.